It's the mute show.
Sorry, Jim's gassy, so he was farting and it tickled his leg, and that's why he started laughing.
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
You were
Anyway,
wandering your eyes around. You were looking at all that porn on your screen. Yeah, that stuff.
no, I don't run that on this computer because I don't want to be like Sharenda where you run porn on your computer and your computer crashes all the time. Cell phones are much easier to do that
I
with.
couldn't believe you said that to her.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, how many times has our computer been broken down in the last, couple of months?
Exactly.
So, anyway, on to bigger and better things. Hello! Welcome to the Echo Show from Here We Go. Who's got the echo?
Testing.
Testing.
Testicles.
Jason,
1,
speak up,
2.
please.
Jason muted. Jason unmuted.
Probably me.
Oh, big time.
Look at his room. His room is stripped. He's even taken. Oh my God, he's taking shelves out and everything. The only thing he hasn't taken out is his computer.
Check your microphone settings, Jason. Make sure that you're not running your webcam mic.
That's not echo. That's reverberation.
No, this is reverberation.
That's called a raspberry.
Jason, you better stop thinking that the smoke's filling up the room. You got to sell that house. You can't burn it to the ground.
You sure?
Yeah. Or are you in Idaho right now?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think I've got my correct microphone. Is this one picking anything up?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jason.
Yeah.
Jason, you need to wear earphones. That way you hear the blasting you're doing in our ears.
Oh, well, See, you got it up too loud, Jim. Because it was fine for me. Anyway, everybody in the chat's going, what the hell?
No, they're all saying hello.
Exactly. Anyway, speaking of hello, welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network, presented by Primary Arms. How's everyone doing tonight?
Doing good. Got, progress is being made at the new house and back here for the week and then leave on Friday again. And then I got family stuff to do for the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks and then back down there. So, it hurts not having my reloading stuff all set up. That really bothers me.
Yeah, that sucks.
So, everything's packed up in boxes and crates and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got to take it all apart and figure out where everything's at again.
Oh, jeez.
How you doing with that, Jason? You getting it all packed up too?
It's getting pretty packed. I've been working on loading a trailer again this week. And, GGW, all my reloading stuff is on the trailer. The components are already up in Idaho. All my tools are on the trailer now. So hopefully we're taking off this weekend and heading up to Idaho and unloading another load and getting some work done around the house and be back the week after that. So I had a problem with my safe. It's got the electronic lock
Mm-hmm.
and the little ring around the side. It didn't want to lock. And so I finally called Liberty Safes and was talking to them about it.
Yeah.
And so they told me what to do, how to get in there and look at it. And when you know it, there's a piece of steel in there that has a little spring about the size of a ballpoint pen spring. I touched that son of a gun and it launched. And got my glasses and my flashlight, and I found it. Reinstalled it. Touched it again. It launched the other direction this time. Found it again. How many times does that happen when you lose springs?
Never.
AR-15s and roll pins.
Right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Detent springs.
Yep.
That's exactly what I was thinking of when that happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the running joke for months with a couple of the Brownells ads for the network, was that Jake had launched a detent spring into his shag carpeting. And so
I bet you didn't lose that spring a third time.
Nope, I did not. After that, my finger stayed on the end of it until I
Yeah.
got it sealed up.
nice.
Good
Yeah, Liberty's
deal.
a pretty good company to deal with. So
Did it work?
It works. All
Okay.
better now.
Okay. So
all day long it worked. Anyway, so that sounds like you two have been having fun adventures and relocating. How about you, Jim?
I finally made my camera work.
Yeah,
It works nice.
they do.
And I even put a little boring little video of the bore of the rifle. That was all I put in the video was the bore of the rifle.
There you go.
But didn't show the whole rifle, of course, and all that. I know it's not allowed to show the whole rifle during live stream like this.
Yeah.
But anyway, and I was surprised how much cotton lint is in that bore. Yeah, exactly. I've taken it out of the case twice and out of the gun case once. Out of the box, I should say. Cotton lint. What the hell is cotton lint doing in my bore?
it's not cotton lint. It's dust.
Yep.
It's dust.
Well, these things are long. I know what dust looks like boulders when you look with that kind of magnification. These things look like giant worms.
It's dust. It's
Yeah,
not
okay.
cotton. Really.
Okay. I'll accept it. But anyway, yeah.
After exploring a brand new rifle barrel, I mean, a brand new one that was not even chambered yet. You know, it just came from the straight from the manufacturer to me. And in the process of being shipped to me, it looked like it was growing ferns in there. Okay. I mean, you watch all the little squiggles and everything else. And, you know, it almost looks like your bore has been etched.
Yep.
And you sit down and you start to throw a cleaning jag through it, and then it comes out.
I will tell you that I know that whatever ammunition they used to test fire that rifle, it had copper plated bullets.
Okay.
Because of the bore scope, I was able to spot that. It's just copper wash, I know that. But even so, a little bit of it rubbed off on the inside of the chamber, on the lead area. It's kind of hard to think about that, because I had to take the rifle down. I go in from the chamber end, but it's kind of hard and weird because you got to think when you turn it over, you're turning it around or go backwards or forwards. You got to work in opposite.
Yeah. Because of the mirror.
Yep.
You only got a single mirror. If you had two mirrors, it would work, but you only got a single mirror.
You're right.
So then you
But
think.
what's nice is that thing actually goes down into 20 caliber. It's like, wow.
Yeah. What's nice is it's flexible for you. Okay. I mean, you got the flexible one. You get the hard one, and I like the hard one because it rides the bore a little better as far as on the inside. And but you know, getting used to the mirrors and not having a mirror on to give it a quick look. And
well, does your bore scope have LED lights in the?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's a great aid, I'll tell you.
Well, you wouldn't work without it.
Yeah, you're right. It'd be all black inside.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and for $50 to $70, you can't beat it.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
I'm going to mute myself and walk away from the screen for a few minutes. I got to go turn that caterwauling radio down. I know the music's coming over the air.
Okay. So I found my projectiles finally.
Aha.
Stupid glow. So the 160 grain FTX from Hornaday for my 30-30.
So you're gonna Leverution. You're gonna go for velocity or for consistency?
I want consistency.
Okay.
So I've actually I got a ton of powders, but I actually did powders that I have, and
just put in there like where you can. Sorry, it's about to where you.
So I've got the Lever Evolution powder, I've got Vargid, I've got IMR 3031, and then 4064. So I'm going to try those out. And then they also have a subsonic listing for Trail Boss. So I'm going to try that out too, just for fun.
4198.
Trail Boss. I'm sure they have 4198. I didn't grab that one.
Okay.
So
just a thought. I mean, it's a pretty good stick powder. Long, like 3031, but it's a pretty good stick powder.
Yeah, I just don't have any of it. So
3022 would, 322, H322 would work too.
Sal just said that too, 322.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sharenda, she's been, as I was saying earlier, she isn't here because her computer's broke again. So I'm thinking she's been watching too much porn, and that's what screwed her computer up.
Yeah.
I had everybody laughing in the chat when I told her that. Travis is still on restrictions, so we're not sure.
Our local Homer Simpson is being tested for radioactivity.
Mm-hmm.
So
didn't Travis take a new job anyhow?
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about.
Okay. We're talking about, yeah. So. He's working for DOE.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then Ray's out of town and Nick's working. So
yeah, Nick has got inventory. Oh.
Sucker. So
and then we're missing one other person, that, right? Chris Sharp made an excuse that he had to take his wife out for her birthday.
He's a damn slacker.
Yeah. Yep. And I just want to know, I'm wondering where he took her.
Right.
To the strip joint?
Yeah. I mean, she's got to see something that's real, right? So she took her, he must have taken her to the male strip joint.
Oh, that's awesome. Anyway. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, you are horrible.
That's funny.
You know what this is?
What?
That's turning the roasting crank.
Speaking of roasts and roasting, if you have Amazon Prime, all the old Dean Martin celebrity roasts are on there.
Wow.
When he had the Man of the Hour from the 70s.
Ah.
Yeah, those are all on there. So good times, good stuff.
Dean Martin's been gone for a long time.
He's not really gone. I mean, he pickled himself, so.
Yeah.
Martinis are martinis. I mean, come on.
Right?
Gin is perfect, for that.
Formaldehyde. Yeah, that's why Jason never moves. That man imbibes Jason gin like I drink iced tea after he gets done working.
Oh, that's awesome. So,
There's nothing wrong with gin for pickling yourself. I mean, that's good. That's I prefer to use something that's more natural.
Scotch.
That's right. It's at least it's given up its share to heaven. By the time I get to it.
Yeah.
So
I use barley pop and then whiskey.
I like rum.
Yes,
We all know that.
Yep. So you're back to that 160 grain load there, right?
Yep. Yep. So
And
I grabbed the 160 FTX. I kind of wanted the 140s, that new Monoflex bullet, but
yeah,
I can't find it anywhere. So I actually got lucky. We had we had a box at Cabela's, and then they disappeared. And so I've been looking and checking the shelf pretty much every time I work. Well, I was helping one of the guys straighten out everything on the shelf because it was all cattywampus. And so this was sitting behind a box of 168 grain. And I saw the FTX, which the 168 grain was SSTs or something like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't belong there. So I picked it up and I'm like, ooh, checked the price on it. And away we went. So,
okay.
so yeah, now I got to start, I get to start load development. And so there's a couple questions in the chat, bullet related. The first one is one that somebody emailed into us, but we're going to skip that for now and go to the second question. So I got all these bullets. How do I sort them and why? Why would I sort them? And how do I sort them?
What do you mean by sort them? Are you talking about what purpose do you have in mind? Is it like Jeremy Rowland in the old F class?
Basically.
Well, like what I do is sort bullets by ogive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
Evidently, he's got to lay his dog up. But you could sort either way. Sort by ogive, then weight, or by weight, then ogive, or a combination of both.
I've never found it worthwhile to sort by weight.
Well, it depends on what Mike has in mind. I know he asked us to wait, but we didn't want to put the dead air out there.
Right.
But
yeah,
we were talking. Paul was just saying he doesn't find it worthwhile to sort by weight, but he does sort by ogive.
Okay.
Using a bullet comparator tool.
All right. It's out in the garage, I think.
And the reason I say that is because the differences in lengths when you run into them are going to show the variance in weight. So you're doing about the same thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So going by length is a lot faster, and it's much more accurate.
Yeah.
So
are those supposed to be the same weight, Mike?
Yes.
The shank of the bullet's the same, so the ogive's the only thing different. And that's quite a variance. And I would say the bullet on Mike's left would have been the heavier bullet because of the longer nose. That's just a guess. Am I right or wrong, Mike?
They're the same. I didn't weigh them.
Although they came out of the same box.
Right, but I think that I think they're not as goofy as you thought because of the fact that the way I was holding them.
Okay.
I was going to see if I could zoom in with my camera, but I can't. So we'll grab the calipers out and see if I can hold it with calipers. Just so you can see.
Well, if nothing else, can check the COA or the OAL of the bullet itself.
Yeah.
Since your comparator tool is in the okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, so now you can kind of see.
Yeah, you're right. They are the same, but it was the way you were pressing on them.
Right.
Well, it goes to show you an optical seclusion like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
There.
Yep.
Good focus. Yep, they're identical.
So.
Well, you think they're identical. He hasn't put them. He hadn't put them through a comparator, and so you're looking at just what the eye can see. Without using a micrometer on it to tell.
Yeah.
So.
So
if you want to sort bullets, that's the way to do it.
Right, and that's kind of what I was. Obviously, I mean, I'm using these for hunting deer. So am I going to, go through all that for this? No, because I'm not going to get the, I'm not going to get the return on investment with them. Now, if I was target shooting, possibly, but I don't think I'm going to target shoot with the 30-30 in the first place. So,
pretty accurate round.
Yeah. But
I mean, Remington with their model 788 and 30-30.
Yep.
Was a wicked gun.
Yeah.
Even though it had the world's worst trigger in it, you could still get a Kanjar or a Timmy and put it in there, and the gun would shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, 788 in the used in the library in 308. So, kind of a neat little rifle.
That would be a rare thing to have as a bolt gun in 30-30.
They made it in 788.
Yeah, I know when you said 788 and 30-30, I knew they did, but it's like, wow.
Yeah.
That's rare. That's rare.
I got a couple of 788s laying around that one in 6mm Remington and the other one in 44 Magnum.
Ooh.
That'll be a good home defense weapon. You had about 600, 700 feet per second to the velocity of the 44 Magnum cartridge.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's they're interesting guns.
Yes.
So the rear locking lugs on them are make it a difficult one to achieve maximum pressure in.
Yeah.
Because you have the bolt that will compress.
Yep.
In there.
Flex.
Right.
But in the 30-30 cartridge, I would imagine there's no trouble whatsoever as long as you stick with Sammy specs. Yeah. Yes, there are people out there that want to soup it up. Mm-hmm. I don't believe, I could be wrong, I probably am, but I don't believe Parker Ackley was fiddling around with the 30-30 cartridge in his Remington 788. Mm-hmm. I know he did in the lever guns. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
He did the Ackley improved in those lever guns. In fact, he came up with the Wildcat caliber 22/30-30, as in 224 diameter bullets, and it's basically a 220 Swift in a lever gun.
Yeah,
but think of how many rimmed cartridges that were being used in lever guns in those times. Mm-hmm. they had, 22 Hornet was chambered in a lever gun.
Yep.
219 zipper. I go on and on. 218B. You got to, go a long way to in 22 caliber because a lot of people like to shoot pest.
Yep.
And there are pests around that in just about every location.
Mm-hmm.
You go out west, California's got ground squirrels. You come into the Dakotas and that you got prairie dogs.
P-dogs.
Right. You got marmots in Idaho. You get into the grain belts, and all of a sudden you getting groundhogs.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always something to shoot. And as far as a pest goes,
Well, now we know why Jason's leaving California, because of all the ground squirrels. They're probably busy chasing. They're probably chasing him out.
I actually don't have any here. I got pocket gophers. That's my pest.
Your rifle should do well with that.
Oh yeah. I've whittled them down over the years.
Anyway, so the question was, how do you sort your bullets, and why do you sort your bullets?
The why to sort your bullets. That's the real question. For consistency, for accuracy.
Yep.
And that's the only reason. Those are the accuracy and consistency. Those are the two. You can make one load with one set of bullets and another load with another one. Let's say you put 5 thousandths between the two, and these are 5 thousandths shorter, or these are 5 thousandths longer, and you can adjust to where they're going to sit with into the from the lands that way, and you make a consistent target load.
Okay, the next question I have, I already have an answer, but you guys know I like to play devil's advocate. How do you sort your bullets? As in what increments, Mike? What kind of incrementation are we talking?
Well, I mean, it depends on how you're going to what criteria you're going to use for that.
Target practice. Offhand target practice.
Nope, not what purpose you're using them for. What criteria you're going to use for sorting.
Oh.
Are you going to use weight? Are you going to use heel to ogive? Are you going to use nose to ogive? Are you going to use overall diameter to the thousandths of a inch or 10 thousandths of an inch? There's all sorts of different things on how you sort them, so that would determine on what your increments are going to be.
If I'm sorting bullets and you're telling me that I'm going to use them from offhand, sorry, no, I'm not going to sort my bullets offhand.
Paul caught that.
I just am not going to do it. I mean, that's just
waste your time.
But if I'm going out to a prairie dog town and I want to shoot prairie dogs at 500 yards, I am going to sort bullets.
Because it makes a difference.
Right.
Yeah. It's like these. I will not sort these because it's not going to make a difference. I mean, at most I'm looking at 200 yards on whitetail.
If you're going to make hunting ammo with those bullets, minute of angle is good enough.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not dialing it down to precise enough of a system to need to sort. It's just like I'm not going to be measuring cake capacity on the brass. So,
yeah.
Little suggestion for you: if you 30-31, if you can get it, I don't remember if you said you had it or not. You probably do, but if you can get some 30-31, yes, that used to be a pretty ideal powder for the caliber 30-30. There you go. So you got a couple pounds of it. So you'll be all right.
I got a smidge. I am going to whip up that Trail Boss load just for fun.
Use a lead bolt for that. I don't know if I have any or not. If I do, I can send you some.
Okay. Sal wants to know what rifle I'm shooting him from. I'm shooting him from a Marlin 336 CS.
You'll have to forgive my lack of knowledge when it comes to the long guns.
Lever
Is
gun.
that Lara? Thank you.
Yep. So, and this was an actual Marlin, not a Remlin.
Yeah.
So, it was my brother's. So,
Well, good luck with that. You won't need much. You know enough about reloading. You won't need a whole lot of luck with that.
Yep. So,
just remember, watch your crimp. Don't try crimp. Don't try a roll crimp.
Yep.
Those RCBS dies. It won't work.
Nope.
Stab crimp. Fact leaf FCD if you got to crimp it.
Yeah.
If you think you got to crimp it, put an Lee FCD in there.
Yep. I will probably have to try and find one because being a lever action, it should be crimped. Just because of putting them in and out the magazine. So that is the one thing that's nice about the new Henrys that have the side loading gate. So Henrys, when they started making them, they did not have a side loading gate. All they had was just your tube load, like a lot of your tube fed 22s, where they've just got the little cutout in the tube, and then you've got the feed stick you pull out.
Mm-hmm. It's actually it's a magazine spring is what it actually is.
Right. Yeah. So that's the way all the Henrys were for years till they finally listened to the customers that were, clamoring for
a side gate.
A side gate. They put the side gates on, but they left the tube load. So the nice thing about that is now you do not have to empty out your magazine. You do not have to eject every round through the chamber like you do on the Marlins and the Winchester 1894s and like that. So that's the nice thing about that. So that's a little less wear and tear on the cartridge, but but yeah. So I'll have to look around for one and see if I can find them. So. Gerald Fickner wants to know, Lee, what type? Crimp SSC. I'm not sure what SSC is, but 30. It's for the 3030, and I'll be looking for the factory crimp die. So, which last time I checked with Lee, they're on back order. So.
You have crimping available on the die that you have already on your seating die, right?
Right. So worst case scenario, I can make that work.
Yeah. And you're going to crimp for a reason?
Probably bullet push in.
Yeah, that's the only reason I would think about it, is because I am loading it in the tube mag. So.
It's that 3030 brass is also, Paul. You probably haven't fooled with 3030 very much, but that 3030 brass on the neck is usually thin, which means it doesn't have enough strength to compress hold the bullet well. So with under pressure, it's possible that bullet could push into the cartridge.
Yeah,
especially under recoil. If Mike single loads them or two loads them, he's not going to have any trouble whatsoever. But if he fills up a magazine, yeah, you want to crimp that.
Mm-hmm.
So you get, 5 rounds in a mag?
4 or 5, something like
4
that.
or 5, right.
Yeah.
And I've 3030 brass to me is unprepped 357 Harriet brass or unprepped 30 Harriet brass, okay?
Right, yeah, so you're using it for other purposes. So.
But I've never had a problem with bullet pull in anything other than a Magnum revolver.
Right.
So
It's my first time loading for the 3030, and most of the people I've talked to
Say crimp.
say crimp because it's
Okay.
because of the tube mag, so you don't get bullet setback.
Well, Mike, if you just two load them, you're never going to have any trouble anyway.
Yeah, he's going hunting with them. You want more than one,
Yeah.
If I was, guaranteed I knew how I was going to shoot every time.
Right.
Yeah, I'd only put one bullet in the gun. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. I
Here-
did forget about the hunting aspect of it.
Here you go, Barney. Here's your bullet. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was just hunting
yeah.
paper, then sure I can chamber
Yeah.
load it and away I go. But so. All right. So Jesse has a question. He emailed in to us at reloadingpodcast@gmail.com. He's talking about 6.5 Creedmoor. He's talking about Hornady Reloading Manual 11, which I don't have, and I don't remember if any of you guys have or not. But he says the difference between the Hornady GMX and all the other Hornady 140 to 143 grain projectiles in the reloading manual. He says the 140 grain GMX is separate from everything else, and what's the difference and why would the powders not cross over?
Well, it's real simple because of the bullet construction.
Yep.
A GMX is a solid bullet. It is not a lead core bullet. So, yeah, you're only going to, they have to develop pressures for a solid copper bullet on its own, and it can't be compared with the other ones.
Mhm.
And powders don't always cross over.
Mhm.
Hell of a bullet, but powders don't always cross over as much as we wish.
Right.
And if it's because of the pressure rise, because of the amount of resistance of the copper going through the bore, and the pressure rises too fast, one powder may not work that you're using. So that's your answer, sir.
Yeah, the GMX stands for gilding metal expanding. So it's so it's an alloy approximately 95% copper, 5% zinc.
It's what we call a monocore bullet. In other words, it's everything is the same in it, and you deal with other ones from Cutting Edge, Barnes. There's a number of manufacturers now that make these monocore bullets.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, Barnes was kind of the
first one to get good Swiss screw machines, CNC lathes, where they can hold the accuracy that they need to produce bullets.
Yep.
You're not going to do this on a standard tooled lathe, and it's just that's where they make an individual bullet at a time.
I've made individual bullets on a lathe, and I'll tell you what, it's a lot of work. I took a piece of 375 brass brown stock. Yeah, that's cute. Anyway, I've made it out of 375 brass, 0.375 brass rod. I made 6 or 8 bullets, and I'll tell you what, it's amazing how much work it was. I wound up asking to have a form tool made to fit the profile of what I wanted, and it would cut I cut the cone of the nose, and then I'd also cut the heel of the bullet at the same time. But it had to be dead square to the center of the bar.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also had to have like a jig, or had to have a dead stop to advance. Here we go. Advance to a dead stop, pull a stop away, come in, and you shave off the nose and the heel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of work to get it. That's the only way I got it to be consistent.
So, Trumbo, Paul Loud's got an idea for you.
That's an excellent idea.
So he said, Paul said you should contact Buckeye Targets. He probably has enough 40 Smith & Wesson brass to refill once you remove the root. So there you go. Now you got goals. Yeah.
So
what I'm doing right now, if I would have selected rifle instead of pistol, is I'm actually looking up load data to kind of give people an idea of the difference.
Wow. When Jason, you muted whatever sound you had going, probably your air conditioning, whatever sound you had going in your background just stopped.
Oh, they don't have the GMX.
Yes, it's back.
I don't hear anything. That's weird.
You're deaf. It's coming over the system.
Huh? What?
Well, no, it's just his microphone's that sensitive, but he probably won't hear it. So, let's see here. No, they do not have anything for the GMX bullets. So, okay. No, I was just checking that. So,
Mike, Paul, highlight Schwinn Racer's comment, please.
mm-hmm.
I'd like to address that if you don't mind.
So Schwinn Racer just said, do any of you make your own bullets with Corbin bullet swaggers? Swaggers. However you want to pronounce it. And yes, there's other variants too, but, have fun. He said he's getting a lot of 22 brass stocked up in the bucket and have been contemplating jumping into that. Jim?
I've been doing it for a long time. I started out using 22 caliber brass, and I started swaging my bullets on my Lee classic turret press. And then I wound up buying a Lee Mighty Might, and I swaged my bullets with 3/16 diameter lead wire. And for 357, I used 5/16 lead wire. I actually cast my own cores.
a Lee Mighty Might, or is that a Corbin Mighty Might?
Corbin Mighty Might. Did I say Lee Mighty Might?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
My apologies. I was totally incorrect. It's a Corbin Mighty Might bronze press. They don't even make it anymore. Now everything's all steel. It's all vertical presses instead of horizontal. But yeah, Schwinn Racer, it's something to do if you just can't get your bullets. The other thing is too, it does take a lot of your time. You have to understand, if you're going to do it in a reloading press and so on and so forth, the first thing you got to do is take the rim, iron the rim off the jacket. Well, the first thing you got to do is wash your brass. That way you can hopefully get as much for the primer ash out of the inside of the case as you can. And I made mine out of solid carbide back when I had access to that kind of stuff. Tungsten carbide. And because the primer ash will actually chew into and erode your de-rimming punch. The next thing you got to do is after you do all that, you could anneal your brass either before or after you de-rim it. I tried it both ways.
Mm-hmm. What's the easier way to do it?
I like annealing afterwards.
Okay.
That way I have the rim. The rim is gone. The primer ash is cooked off and stuff like that, because I actually put it in my Lee production pot 4, my 20-pound lead pot, and I would heat it up full heat for 15 minutes, and once it got hot enough for 15 minutes, and then dump it out. The only thing bad about that is you do oxidize the hell out of your brass.
Yeah.
But I have a tumbler,
mm-hmm.
and it helps a lot. Makes them shiny again. And a bit nuts is exactly right. Converting 22 long rifle cases, which is how Vernon Spear got his start, and how George Hornaday got his start, is by converting cases for 22 long rifle ammunition and made it into a jacketed bullet. But the cost for the dies seems catastrophic. Well, the other thing is, too, you bet nuts, you're absolutely right. It is prohibitively expensive. I don't know how much it's going to cost to get into it now, but I think somewhere on the neighborhood of $2,000 to $3,500 sounds about right. Depends on how deep you want to go, but you have total control over everything of the bullet, the projectile. You have total. You can control your bullet weight down to less than a tenth of a grain. You can control your jacket weight down to less than a tenth of a grain. You can consistently form your ogives down to the thousandths of an inch, and that's keeping watching your lead and your so on so your jackets and all that. It's very, 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 very accurate. I wouldn't be surprised at all to find out that some of the F-class guys out there are using J4 jackets, meaning they're making their own bullets with J4 jackets.
No, they're mostly sitting there buying burgers. I really, that's the number one bullet being used in F-class.
Okay. Well, the thing is availability.
In order to be good at F-class, you have to shoot a lot of F-class. Okay, yep. And it's not where you can just a match in F-class is 200 rounds. So you figure out making 200 bullets in 7mm, and you got a lot of work ahead of you.
You do. You absolutely do. But you get total control. The other thing is, too, you could take copper tubing, which is still widely available for plumbing supply store. Get 375 copper tubing and make it into 35 caliber bullet jackets, and so on and so forth. You can just draw it down.
Used to make 375 H&A practice ammo for a friend with a piece of copper pipe and a lead mold. Okay, and you would actually put the copper pipe in there, heat it with a torch till it got red hot, close it, then pour your lead in, and then take it out.
Yep.
And
you should be well soldered by that.
Right. And it was a lot of work, but at the time of what the cost of 375 bullets were, it was cheap.
Well, that's just it. If you can get into that stuff, which Corbin has got orders coming out of his ears, but if you're determined, it's a great way to go. The only thing is, it's a lot of work.
And if you're going to do it, use wire, lead wire. Don't don't go trying to cast your own.
Why not? I do it. I have great luck with it.
A lot of people won't get the consistency all the way through. Pure lead,
right?
Okay, where pure lead wire is drawn already, so you just have to cut it and swage the cores, which you would have to do anyway if you were casting. Lubing the stuff. Everything needs to be lubed. You have to lube everything, every step of the way.
And you have to wash everything too.
Right. So there is a tremendous amount of work that goes into it. Just understand that, is it good? I mean, you can buy jackets. You got J4, Sierra sells jackets. Hornady sells jackets. Nosler sells jackets. You can buy jackets where you can do a number of things. So, but
So Paul Loud, while you guys were talking about money and saving money, he goes, "Some people shoot 38 special and 357 mag to save money. Others shoot 270 and 30-06. Oh, that one never gets old, Jason. Just never gets old.
That joke just won't die.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not a joke. It happened, but
Yes, it did.
leave it to Paul to keep bringing it up.
Yep.
He brings that up more often than I bring up the fact that you were taking photos of your knee with splashes from the tinsel fairy on it.
Mm-hmm. So Gerald Fickner wants to know, anybody know if you can reload 12 gauge or 20 gauge Sabot Sabot, however you want to pronounce it, slugs for rifled barrels? Yes. Yes. The answer to the question is yes, yes, yes. The trouble is, I don't know what the availability of the actual projectiles is. That's going to be the problem. So, but yeah, I mean, the Sabot you buy just like a wad. And there's all sorts of different options out there. I don't know for 20 gauge what there is available, but
There's a bunch out there that are for sale. You just have to really dig for them, and check with Ballistic Research for
BPI, Ballistic
yeah,
Products. Yeah,
right.
that's where I'm headed. So
I believe they're the ones that have saboted slugs for rifled barrels.
yeah. Let's see here. Ooh, they even got some 410 slugs.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see here. 20 gauge DGS slugs. Foster slugs. I'm seeing some 12 gauge stuff. I haven't seen any 20 gauge yet, but that doesn't mean it's not out there. So, and it may be just they're not available currently, but definitely it's an option. Now there is, if you go to Sabot Technologies, they have the wads there. So, and then they have a wad with a lead slug, but it's a hammerhead slug, so it's not what he's looking for.
They're out there. You just have you really have to search for them.
Yeah, I mean the problem right now is nothing's really available. So
that's the current political environment. That's all.
It's been the environment for 2 years, guys.
Yep.
Well, it eased up a little bit during the recent administration, but before that, we had 8 years. 8 years. It was almost as bad as it is now. Almost.
Yeah.
Great sales, great for the ammo and firearms company, but companies, but hard on us.
It's starting to get better. I mean, we've actually got 9mm in stock consistently. We've got 5.56 in stock consistently. Heck, we've even got 40 in stock consistently. No 45, no 380, but hunting rounds are starting to show up finally. We've actually had small rifle Magnum CCI primers in stock for most of the last 6 weeks.
Hell, Mike, nobody shoots those primers. I know. It can be done. It can be used. Okay, I know that.
Lots
I'm
of
just
people
saying.
use those primers.
In a pinch.
No, a lot of people use those for their 5.56 rounds.
Yeah.
So better consistent ignition.
with ball powders.
Yep. So
Don't need it for stick powders, but ball powders can use it at times.
Yep.
Especially when it's very cold outside.
yes.
So we're getting back to it, but we're also seeing prices of where we're going to see them in the future.
The actual loaded ammo prices are starting to come down a little bit. The primer prices are still staying the same as far as Cabela's goes, but the actual loaded ammo
there's still no powder out there. I mean, really.
Yeah. Well, we had 4 pounds of Rotumbo the other day. That was amazing. Speaking of Rotumbo, you can actually use that for 6.8 Western. Because a kid bought a 6.8 Western. First one I've sold, and obviously ammo's a bit hard to find, and so we went looking through to see what you could find for powder, and there's actually a lot of powder, so that was kind of impressive.
How about stuff that 4350?
Haven't seen that in a while.
Either have I.
So I mean, we were getting it in for a bit, but now it's just like the XBRs. I haven't seen any of those in a while. So, but I mean, as far as powder goes, Cabela's probably isn't a fair comparison because they've never really focused on the powders to begin with. I mean, all we've ever had is 1 pounds.
Right. So. I look for 8 pounders, and I'm having a hard time finding 8. 1 pounders I can find.
Yeah,
1 pounders.
It's going to be a while before you find 8 pounders.
Yeah.
Because nobody's packaging them in 8 pound right now. All they're shipping is 1 pounders.
Yeah. I'd love the 3 8 pounders of 48.90 of H 48.95. 3 or 4 of Varget. 4350. I'd take 5. Right now. And then
check with Hodgdon. They were allowing purchases direct for a little while. So on their website, they had something listed about that. So check and see. But so last question for the night was from Robert R. And he sent that in via reloadingpodcast@gmail.com. And this goes back to a show when you guys, I think it was Jim, might have been Paul, was talking about what to have on hand. And so his question was, what's the source of the 20,000 primers of each type recommendation? So what he wants to know is how you came up with that 20,000 number.
That's pretty simple. I mean, I look at it as a 5-year supply of 20,000 that I can rotate through my stock.
When you say 5-year 20,000, okay, I forgot how I wanted to ask the question. Sorry, but where do you come up with the number 20K?
Well, I
20,000.
need.
It's 4 cases of primers. I know that.
Right. Yeah. And a small rifle is going to be, a case. Small and large pistol is a case each, and I'd split my large rifle in 4 boxes of large rifle and 1 box of large rifle Magnum.
Okay.
So,
Now I understand. You're that 20,000 number is in all your primers, all sizes together. I thought you were
Yeah.
saying 20K a small rifle, 20K a small pistol, 20K large pistol, 20K large rifle. I was going to say that's that's even worse than I do.
yeah, but
I
20,000 in when I was shooting competitive pistol back in the 80s,
oh yeah, you'd go through
okay,
20K.
20K was nothing, and we would think of buying 5 boxes of ammo of 20,000 20,000 or 25,000 primers.
You mean
That
five cases of
5
primers,
cases,
not ammo.
right?
Primers.
5 cases of primers.
Right, I agree.
And that's what we would do. And you got to remember, those that was at that time for us to buy them was $6 a thousand.
Right.
So we didn't think anything of it, and we would get, when you were going to the line and you heard somebody had just spent, the last $200 on primers. Somebody was shooting a lot. Okay. You'd get a little worried about, how good he was, especially if you didn't compete with him regularly. So those were the guys we worried about. We didn't, worry about the guys with the fanciest race pistol or the fanciest this or that. We worried about the guy that, you look at the web of his hand and he's got calluses there from
recoil.
drying. Yeah.
From recoil.
And drying the gun, that was sliding the hand into the onto the grip and getting a callus in the web of your hand. That was the guy that you worried about. You didn't worry about the guy that you shook his hands and they were soft.
I know. I've been there.
But no, having a supply of primers that could last you, 5. Say for me, let's say 5 years. Okay, is what I would say. Yeah, okay, and it may not last 5 years, and it may last 5 years. I don't know when somebody's going to turn the switch off.
That's right, and the switch might be right here. At our age.
Right. So so I want to have the stuff there, and I'm not saying that everybody needs to buy that much, but I would recommend that if you're a shooter that does a lot of reloading, to have that much on hand.
Yep. So you basically, like you said, 5-year supply. I could get in large rifle. I would say you'd be hard pressed to go through 5,000 primers in 5 years. It could be done. Don't get me wrong. Hell, you could do it in one day if you're willing to burn your gun up. But depending on the caliber, that's a good number for large rifle. Same for large pistol. 45, 44, 10 mag. Or, yeah, 10 millimeter mag.
In your large rifle, you're forgetting 308 and 30-06.
Right, and 30-30. I'm just talking about just
I'm saying
the calibers that come to mind.
You got an M1 or an M14, or you got an
bet.
M1 Grand.
You're going to burn up ammo.
You got an M1A or a Grand,
Mm-hmm.
You'll go through those quick.
Yep.
Well, I look at it as I have my defensive rounds, my defensive guns, my ARs, and my M1As, and then I turn around and I look again at my varmint guns, and all of a sudden I got small primers in 22 Hornet, 223 for 2 guns in 223, 22 250. 6 millimeters, Remington and XC. I can lose 1,000 primers in a heartbeat.
Yep.
And just reloading for those.
Yeah, once you went above start naming 223, yeah, I know you're using large rifle primers.
223 is small.
I know that. I said once you went above 223,
right?
You were naming large rifle primers.
But then again, I have 6XC now in small rifle. Okay.
Yeah, but that's an exception.
And my 308s are and my bolt guns are small rifle. So I mean, it depends upon time of year and everything else. But okay. But then again, my hunting gun is a 7 mag and it takes a Magnum primer. But
yep.
You know, and 1,000 rounds for pistol guys is nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
It's nothing.
5,000 round, 5,000 primers for pistol is nothing.
You'd be surprised. It's so easy to burn up 3 boxes. When I call it a box, I'm talking about my MTM box of 100 rounds. And it's like it's no problem at all to go out and burn up 300 rounds in one afternoon shooting session with a handgun.
I used to laugh because I was taught somebody how to reload, and he went out and bought 100 round boxes of MTM boxes to put his pistol loads in. And he goes, "Why are you laughing?" And I says, here's a Ziploc bag. Okay. Put everything in there. All right. Zip it, write on it what it is, and put it in your shooting bag.
Yeah.
Save your money, put it buy a few Ziploc bags and quit buying those MTM boxes.
Right.
I like them, but I only buy them once when the mood strikes me.
I don't knock them or anything, but if I'm teaching somebody's reloading for a pistol, guys, put it in a bag and that's it.
Chico Wise put up an interesting comment. He wish I purchased more primers as I've got into USPSA shooting earlier this year. Lesson learned. You never miss the water till the well runs dry.
Yep. So
USPSA used to be our IPSC, and once you get into that, you really learn about reloading. I don't know.
You learn why you need a progressive reloader.
Well, I don't know, what class he's shooting or anything. So is he shooting, open, or if he's shooting factory, or, I don't know what class he's in. But the more you compete in the sport, the more you realize that you have to shoot more. And I think I put a thing up on MeWe a couple weeks ago about a competitive shooter will shoot at least 500 rounds a month. Okay, at least. And then he'll go and he'll practice his draws and dry fire. Because let's face it, right now that's about all some of them can do because of the shortage of ammo and everything. But you start getting into running a race gun and running it, you're going to shoot 20,000 rounds a month. Okay, so that's 20,000 reloads.
That's how Rob Latham actually got to be so good, is that he was shooting 20K a month.
You have to. You have to in order to be good. I mean that's going out every weekend and shooting without a problem. And then competing along with it. So, you got to shoot.
Yep, you got to shoot a lot.
To know your gun is to shoot your gun. To shoot your gun, you learn your gun.
Okay, Chico, he's shooting limited, so he is, shooting basically a 10-round gun, and it has to fit inside of a box, and it can be slicked up a little bit, but yeah, he's got to shoot a lot. He's got to shoot a lot to get so he can learn to manage his recoil, learn to get his good draw, learn his and keep his trigger press down, and his and getting his sights and trigger finger aligned so it all happens at the same time.
Jason, you are despicable. You're muted.
Fudgesicles. Just looking out for my future, Jim. That's all.
Oh, jeez. So,
Paul, you're terrible too. God.
but
Well, that brings up a good point that I wanted to
they're
bring
trying
up.
to help. They're trying to help Chico spend more money on other things. So
That brings up a good point. Paul said, "Don't be suckered by Jason Trumbo, Chico wise. I have some once fired primers I'll sell for half the price." That point, once fired primers. There's a group on MeWe that is into primer reloading. These guys are actually doing the chemistry and making good, consistent primers.
Yeah.
It's a busy group too. It's also all in the MeWe chat. It's not so much in the group itself.
Yep.
Busy? My God. But anyway. Lead bullet junkie, I tell you what, people are for a fact using match tips for detonation compound.
Yep.
And in fact, you can find videos on YouTube for that.
Yeah. Yeah, people are using match tips and all sorts of other fun stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Buy the primers, guys. Keep enough in stock.
Yep.
John's hand loading. I suggest you, when you talk about dumping used primers, hopefully, you're selling them at least as scrap.
So. One of the people in the chat wanted to know about 338 Norma barrel for an AR-10, and I'm not coming up with much. So.
A 338 Norma barrel.
Isn't that 338 Norma Magnum like as in a belted case, big fat belted case?
Yes.
The action ain't long enough for it.
Yeah, I don't think it is either, but I was looking to see. So.
Who was Christian Arms? They make a 300 Magnum, and that would be a long enough action for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
But you're not going to find an AR-10 barrel in.
Yep.
You could have somebody make it. You can call Bartlett up, and they will make one for you.
There you go.
The same thing with Krager. They'll make one for you.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how expensive that would be.
What, to make a barrel?
No, make a rifle carrying that cartridge, because you're going to have to redesign the upper receiver.
Christian Arms.
Yeah.
It's already done. It's already done. It's $5,000, but it's already done.
$5,000 for an AR-10. Well, I know somebody that paid two.
Well, it's not an AR-10. It's not an AR-10. It's in a 300 Win Mag action, so it's bigger than that. It's longer.
I've seen 300 Win Mag in the AR-10 action.
Mm-hmm. The Nemo.
Yep, Nemo.
Anyway.
Yep.
But you want a barrel? They'll make one. Somebody will make one for you.
Oh yeah. You put enough money out there, somebody will buy it. Somebody will take it.
Yep.
You know, I would say, you know, you're $600 into a barrel.
Yeah.
You know, take it as it is. I mean, that's chambered everything ready to go.
Yep.
And for about another $100, they'll probably headspace and bolt for you.
Anyway, Jeff, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. So I'm over looking at Primary Arms because I was checking to see if they had them. They've just got 7.62 NATO, 308, and 6.5 Creed right now. But they've also got a bunch of fun stuff on clearance. So make sure you swing over and check them out, including some AR stuff. So build your AR from clearance items. Woohoo! So, ooh, now that's a fun thing. You got a VP9 or a P30, they've got a conversion kit to go from 15 rounds to 17 rounds for the magazine. Nice. So lots of good fun stuff over there. But make sure you swing over, check them out. The other fun thing we've got going on is Patriot Patch Company. Their new patch of the month. Bam. Maritime Incident Recovery Team, Agent Krabs. So, yep, that's their latest. It's pretty good. So, I love watching what they come up with every month for new fun stuff. So, Lead Bullet Junkie said, "Man, is it me or did Magnum pistol brass go up by 40%?" Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things, and people want more for once fired compared to new Starline. Yeah, that's another thing that kind of went up is brass. So, just kind of a messed up situation. So,
well, I went looking at for 38 super brass the other day, and
yeesh.
yeah, yeesh. Starline is normally who I go to for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if when I can dig up some 223 brass, a couple thousand, I will get the old saw out and start cutting them. 223 will make 38 super without the
Quite
semi
nicely.
rim on it.
Yeah, quite nicely. So, but well, that kind of covers it for tonight, gang. So, a little shorter on the show. Gerald Fickner just posted, "How about the toy cap gun percussion paper as a primer fill?" Yes, there's videos out there on how to use that too. Your good old-fashioned 500 roll paper caps. There's videos out there on how to use that for primer fill also. And also for 22, for loading up 20, using it as primer in 22. So, I mean, there's lots of little different things out there, but you know, well, there's a will, there's a way. Everybody's creative, but a lot of people are doing some safe testing. Some people aren't. Just make sure you stay away from the people that aren't. So, anyway, yeah, Matt Gorman, you missed that. We were talking about that a couple minutes ago.
In fact, Mike, if you scroll back a little bit, well, somebody just told me there's a primer group for beginning reloaders.
What do you mean?
I'm trying to find it.
That's us.
Jim, they also opened a beginners group for primary reloading on MeWe by David Emery at 9:20 p.m.
Oh, I didn't see that. So, but yeah, but that
Nothing to apologize for, Matt. Nothing to apologize for.
yeah, the MeWe group's fun. Check it out. So. I mean, they've got STLs for 3D fill stations, so you put all your primers in a little jig and fill them and stuff. So it's really slick, some of the stuff they've come up with. So, but if you want to contact the show, reloadingpodcast@gmail.com, 608-467-0308. Send us a text.
Reloading Podcast on Facebook. Reloading Podcast. I'm sorry, Reloading Podcast group on Facebook and MeWe.
Yep, and then we've got the Discord channel. So if you want to get an invite to the Discord channel, send me a private message.
Me too.
Facebook
I added somebody today.
Yep. So, and we'll get you added.
Over on the MeWe group, we don't have it's not what you call family friendly. I mean, everyone's welcome.
Discord.
Discord. That's why I say MeWe. Duh. Discord.
MeWe's still family friendly. Discord is not. So, but
Yeah.
that's the type of platform it is. So
keep the kitties away from Discord.
Yeah. So anyway, so also a huge shout out to all our Patreons who keep this mess going with their hard work and hard-earned funds, sending it here. So I am keeping my kid calm for the next 3 days, so I am going to be doing some time. I'm going to be spending some time doing some editing. So Jason's kid's looking at helping out a little bit, seeing if he can come up with a way to get rid of a lot of background noise. But I think the biggest thing is, like what we all did tonight, just making sure we hit the dang mute button. So we all did a great job of that tonight, so that's a good sign. Anyway, on that note, gang, keep your brass shiny.
Keep your powder dry.
Despite what your mama told you, Grandpa said violence does solve problems.
Support the Second Amendment. Gun control is not about guns. It's about controlling you.
That's right. Thanks, folks.